What's up, everyone? Welcome to Full Speed Impulse, and today we are going to be reviewing the BBR intake for the Klx110. Now, if you do me a favor real quick, after this video, if you look at some of my other videos and you see some stuff that you like, hit that subscribe button, because we're always doing fun stuff, and we don't always just do review or working on stuff. We do fun trips too, and yeah, you know, that tends to be like, when I go to look at, someone's YouTube video to learn, how to do something, sometimes I'll go back and I'll look and see what kind of other stuff they got, but usually, they don't have anything. It's just working on a bunch of random stuff, so we try to mix it up and have some fun trips, going down to Haspin Acres, doing some Michigan stuff. So, get a chance, check some of our stuff out. But, let's get to this intake. Now, we actually have our buddies here that he bought. We already have ours installed. And we've ran this for, I think, like a couple of years now, as far as the BBR intake. So, it was one of like the first upgrades. It's actually a brand new. We bought this brand new in 2018, I believe, or 17. And, yeah. So, we bought BBR intake. We went with a Pro Circuit exhaust. Doesn't matter, but it's got the heavy-duty clutch in there. Obviously, your standard, you got pit bike bars here. These are Pro Tapers. I like Pro Taper or Mica. It's a pretty good brand. You got the BBR seat. Stock rev box. Have looked into the rev box thing, and I honestly don't see anything positive. So I was kind of curious maybe to try it myself. If I could do a review for you guys. The problem is, that rev box alone is 110 bucks, and I haven't seen one person say anything great about it except for it just raises your RPM. So at the end of this video, maybe we'll talk a little bit more about that and why I think that still could be a good thing. But let's get on with this intake. So here is what your BBR intake box or whatever is going to come in, and we got it with razor blades right here. And sorry, Dan, for opening up your box. He had actually bought this with us, and he just never installed it. So he might not even, who knows, there might not even be an intake in here. So let's see what we got. Don't mind the mess here. Alright, so this is pretty much what you get. Obviously, you get yourself a nice brand new air filter that's going to work on this system. And then here is the bag of goodies that comes in. Obviously, you got your rubber grommets or whatever here, your boots, and then that's the main guy right there. So, and then you got your shield. You can see your shield in there. But I'm going to show you guys exactly how this works in here. So, it is a tight fit. So that air filter does get crammed in there pretty good. So when you go to take it out again, it is going to be squished a little bit. The other thing that you need to do is, when you think about it, you will have to buy this bracket right here that will replace, because when you had your stock air box in here, this is how your fender bolted on to that air box. But now that you're removing that stock air box, you're going to buy this bracket here that they'll sell separate. They do not include this in the package. So what it's going to do is be pretty much the opposite of this one here. But I do believe there is a left and right side. So, as far as installation, the installation was not bad at all. It was pretty easy. One thing that I had to do, which they did not specify, and I'm wondering why I had to do it at this point. Oh, so let me feel what's going on here. Okay. Ooh, it's a little loose anyways. I wish I had a better, you'll be able to know by looking at yours. I'm pretty sure, yeah, I had to cut this off on this side here because it protruded a little bit. So it made it really hard to get the intake on. Like, it did not want to slip on because this little guard here was blocking it. It wasn't allowing for me to get on there. So that was a little, the fact that they didn't specify that was kind of messed up. So, other than that though, it fit really good. Now onto the performance side of it. So, Do we notice a difference when we put this on? You're probably not going to. You might notice a little bit. It will make a difference. I will say that if you get it jetted right and tuned. The only reason I say that I know it's got to be making a difference because it throws your carb setting way off. Meaning that it's running way too lean now because you're pulling in so much more air. So that's just logic there. If you're pulling in air, it's making your bike run lean. That means you add more fuel, that's more horsepower. That's just basics right there. So yes, it is more powerful. Are you gonna notice it? Probably not as much, maybe, but every little upgrade that you do does help your machine obviously be faster. So obviously if I were to race a stock Klx110, the fact that the pipe and that intake, there'd be hands down, you know, definitely a good difference. So the only thing I'm not going to be able to help you on, the guys, today is your jetting, because I can't quite remember the jets that we put in this. But here we go. These carburetors are junk. I personally, my opinion, I do not like these carburetors. We have tried tuning these things in to make them run with this intake and the exhaust, and we've got it fairly decently set up, but it's still at the bottom end seems like it really wants to fight us, and if we tune in the bottom end, then it seems like it wants to fight us on the top end. So it just doesn't seem to ever want to be truly happy, and it doesn't seem like there's enough tunability to where we personally cannot get this carb. And it's not just us, it's other people too. And I even start Googling this, like if this was an issue and people were just saying this carb, get rid of it, get rid of it. So after years of riding it like this, we finally said, okay, go look up Faster Minis. Love Faster Minis, by the way. And we looked up, you know, the next carb we should go with. And a 26 mil was definitely too spicy for a stock bore, but we ended up picking out a 22 mil, which we actually, when they finally came in stock, we picked up 2 of them, one for our buddy. So we will be doing a video on that here real shortly on stuff that you need to install this and how much better it will run. So in my opinion, if you're doing a BBR intake, at this point right now, I'd say you just buy the carb too. And that'll also, I believe, eliminate you having to grind that little shield off too. So I honestly don't understand. I don't know if they gave us any there are some instructions here. So let me see here. Hold on one second. Alright, so we looked it up, and if you guys can see it, it says right here, if using OEM carb, you must cut off the choke yard. So I probably didn't read that. And then the other thing here, just for you guys, replacement filter is, no, that's not what we want. Optional bracket for OEM shroud. Here's your part number, 430 KLX 1109. So definitely definitely recommend that, because running without that bracket will just cause you, the first time you lay that thing down, you're gonna probably end up cracking your whole shroud here, and you don't want that. So, and don't take this video the wrong way. I am not knocking this BBR intake at all. It is an excellent, you know, intake. The fact that the whole point of this, because a lot of your air filter pods will just sit right here and they're kind of really exposed. So the type of riding we do, I mean, we're constantly going through water, mud, all different types of terrains. So to have that filter pushed backwards is a really good thing. So, and here comes my next opinion on stuff too. Because this is open, there are times that we have literally bogged this thing so deep in the water or mud that sometimes I wish I still had a stock, you know, air box on this thing. And the only reason I wish that still is because we still have stock displacement. If you are running anything bigger than stock displacement, then I would definitely say you absolutely should be running this setup right here as far as the BBR intake. I would not be running a stock box on a big bore, because at that point your obvious goal is horsepower and going faster. So there would be no reason for you to restrict your bike like that. So you're putting a bigger, you know, piston in, let her eat, you know, get that airflow going through, get yourself a good old carb tuner, and you know, make it a little badass little pit bike. But we're already here. It was installed. Those things are like 130 bucks. There's no way I was gonna, you know, just set this thing to the side and put the stock box on. And you're probably thinking, like, what kind of heck riding are you doing where you're bogging these things deep in water and mud? That's where you go check out some of our videos. We like to do about anything we can on these pit bikes. We like to do different trips that you might not commonly see, you know, pit bikes at. So we do one of our last trips we just did was up in Michigan, where we did over 40 miles on these pit bikes. And then our other trip before this was down in Aspen Acres, where we climbed some pretty gnarly hills and we ride at nighttime. As you can see, we got a little LED bar hooked up right there, nice and bright. And all you can see, got our green lights in there too, just goofing. But that's all it is. We actually made our own support bracket for the rear fender here to try to keep it from snapping so easily from when we get a little too spicy on the wheelies. So we just have a really good time with these, and I think we're up to like 7 people now in our group that pit bike, and they all have Klx110s too, L's. So that's pretty much my my final opinion on the BBR intake. It's a great, if I was going to buy any aftermarket intake, it would definitely be this BBR, hands down. Would not buy anything else. Do you need it? No. But if you are looking for a little extra, the only thing I would say, buy it when you're ready to buy a carb too. And hopefully, within weeks, I'm going to be pushing out the next video. So I just say wait a couple weeks. You know, by the time you see this video, I'm sure we'll already be tuning in the next carb. And I'm pretty sure that this 22 mil is going to be what we need. And man, that's all I could say really on it right now. Like, you know, I like having stock displacement on this thing, because this motor has taken so much abuse. I think has over 60 hours worth of time on this thing of just hard riding, and still have all the compression, doesn't smoke. It's a good unit. I'll do a little fire up right here. It's cold, so I'm not even gonna. Choke's pulled out. Give her a couple courtesy pumps. Woo! Fired right up. Garage just heated up, so let's see if I can pull it off choke or not. So you can hear it. Still a little cold, but so definitely a ripper for sure. I know that's about all I got for you guys. That's about it. So go check out some of my other videos. I appreciate it. Hit that subscribe, and we'll see you later.